Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. Welcome to the channel where I share junk journaling and art journaling, projects, and ideas. In today's video, I thought I would share with you some little journal projects that I've been thinking about for a while. I've been working in my bundle junk journal over on the right, and I decided for the end of summer, currently in the month of August 2025, that some little journals would be just the right thing to kind of get me, I don't know, into the mood for trying some other projects. My bundle junk journal is very full, and I was just feeling these cute little ones. So I have, oh, look at this. Tiny. I have all of these little books that I've been thinking about. Isn't that adorable? Little golden book. This old falling apart Beatrix Potter book. Such a fan. And I think I will definitely alter this one at some point. The Flower Fairies. Gorgeous. Another beautiful little book to consider. I'm going to put those aside though. I don't know about you. Are your piles big? Mine are very big. In fact, I want to just quick step in for 1 minute to say I'm not quite done with this in my pile, which is Rebecca Hoot's Candyland Camp, which she ran through the month of July. Having a good time with that, but I still have, I think I have about the last, might be the last week or so of prompts to finish. So look at Queen Frostine and my Lindor chocolate bag. So more to come there. I didn't want to forget to mention that. But yes, so my piles are big and I'm feeling in the mood for cute little junk journals. So I thought today I would make one, kind of take you along using some old book pages, and then share along the way this fall a few more ideas. So I'm not going to call this a series yet, but I'm feeling I do want to play with more of the smaller size junk journals. And I have all these leftover book pages that I started to doodle on and messy paint on, and I thought this will be the one I start with today. So for the rest of the video, I am going to kind of put together and show you how I got to this stage of putting together what I'm going to call a little collage journal. And then I will bind it. So we'll do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then finally, I will do some of the actual working on the pages and share some of the pages that I've done. So it's kind of a couple sessions of journaling all bundled up into one video. All right, so let's get going. Some of my favorite things, working with book pages, old book pages, book text, these children's dictionary pages. I think for this project, I'm also going to pull out some of the stickers. I have these page reinforcers. I think that's what they're called. I also have this stamp that I never seem to use, and I don't know if I'll use it today or not, but it's one of those date stamps, and I think that would be fun to date some of my pages. We'll see. I have my paint scraper here. You can use old credit cards. I think I got that one from the Dollar Tree. Let's just make a little bit of space here. Oh yeah, and I have that scrappy bit of fabric up there, which I am going to use for, I think, the actual spine. So I have all these old book pages from a different project, tore them up, used them for, I don't know, another collage project that I was working on. And I decided to take the pages and fold them in half. And they are pretty fragile, actually. So these are vintage book pages. And I'm very mindful that I probably will have to use like a Mod Podge or a matte medium or something or other after I collage a bit to seal them up. But already just doing a bit of doodling and paint scraping, it's amazing how the page already feels a little more sturdy. So this was my process. I did, I think, about 7 or 8 of these torn pages, starting out with the Sharpie acrylic markers. I love these. Simple doodles, circles, sunshines. I find this part of the process very calming and meditative. For me, most of my art journaling and junk journaling is really a combination of self-care, a little bit of documenting, and simply having a play with art and art supplies. So I've doodled all those pages ahead of time, folded them in half, and then I did, on most of the pages, not on this cover, a little bit of paint scraping. These are some inexpensive paints, acrylic paints from Michaels. I have this is a nice set with bright colors. There we go. Look at those cute frogs, by the way, my background paper. That's from an educational workbook. Maybe we'll have to put those in a journal too. And if I was more patient, I probably should let the front dry a little bit, but acrylic paint dries really quickly. And that's it. I did something similar to each of these pages to get the signature. And then to add some final details, I used some of the Neocolor crayons. You could use Crayola crayons. My husband calls these my grown-up crayons. I don't know. I don't really want to be a grown-up, so whatever crayons you have. And did a little bit of extra mark making. Of course, book pages come in all different weights because I chose an old vintage book. Oh yeah, and I added, as you can see, a few other little bits of paper. I have a folded index card that I made a shape out of, and a scrappy, cute little image from a book. So you can, of course, add whatever you want. But back to the book pages, some are obviously sturdier than others, and this is definitely a more fragile book. So I'm going to be mindful when I bind it to be a little bit careful when I poke the holes. Here's that little bit of an index card that I made a shape and also did some paint scraping on. So if you have any questions, let me know. I love to hear your comments, your thoughts, and also I would love to know what you are enjoying in your junk journaling and art journaling. I really think that there's something so satisfying about little projects, and my dad was always a person who talked about balance in life when he gave me his loving life guidance and lectures. And I don't know, I've been in some larger journals for a while, and it feels a little more balanced in my creativity to do some smaller projects too. I am doing 3 holes in the closest to the center, and clearly I'm just eyeballing them because I remembered I have 2 really small pages in there, the index card that I made into a little shape and that other scrappy bit of book page, and I want to make sure that I catch them in the binding. Now, almost always when I bind a book, I use a needle, but I am using waxed, here we go, those are my favorite needles. I'm using waxed thread, and this is such a small journal. I'm gonna play it wild here and keep clipping the edges. It's not 100% easy. It's a little bit fiddly, but I'm gonna go without threading the needle. And I think the holes are big enough. It does take me a little bit. This is real time here to get through, but there we go. Hooray. And I think because it has that nice wax coating on the linen thread, I'm going to go all the way down now to the bottom hole on the stitch, by the way. It's a little bit easier to play with. So whatever your preference is, I decided to go rogue. No needle today. I've had pretty good luck with this with small journals, but if I was binding a lot of signatures in, I would definitely thread the needle. And then this is going back in the middle hole. And we're going to pull that through. I absolutely love this part. It's so satisfying to have from pages to a journal in minutes. I am tugging tightly, but not too tightly, because as I've said before, these pages are a little more fragile. And here we are. Enjoying the bright colors. Here's more of the Caran-Neo colors. Scribbling, doodling. Feels good. For me, this project is going to be a collage style journal. I think I'm going to use a lot of lettering. And then I will like magazine letters, stickers, book pages, and probably hand lettering. All right, now I'm going to get the spine on, and here we go. Okay, so this is session 2. This was a little later in the day. I pulled out, I have matte medium, and I also have Mod Podge for later. I don't need those quite yet, but I didn't want to forget to mention that because I know the pages will need that at the end. And I went to town with this junk mail catalog. This one happens to be Costco, and I got almost all the cute little words and magazine lettering out of that. And I've been popping everything in this little holder, so I have it at the ready. I also used a lot of washi tape and more of the white acrylic paint to give me some journaling spots or places to put the words down. And same thing with the paint markers. I added some circles and shapes, so I had some little journaling spots or places to put quotes or sentiments or something like that. So I had a fun play and got the journal going. Started with Your Summer Journey, all from the Costco catalog, and got some of these pages going. So I'm starting out with coffee and tea. I love these little faux stamps that I got. I have some faux stamps and real stamps. A lot of the washi tape. On the bottom here where it says travel, I used a little more paint to kind of push back the background a little. And I've been using the washi tape almost as lines or a frame. I love all of these little faux stamps. And then these are the page reinforcers. There's that little bit of book page. Some hand lettering. Feeling the creative flow and sort of the, I don't know, just the feeling of summer that we all try to relax, try to take it slower, I guess. I know I am. I'm trying to. This cute little stamp pad has such a nice little shape. I did that a little bit on the background, and you can make fun little leaves and other things with it. And then this journal was a little bit more self-care for me, so I have a little bit of journey I'm going on after many, many years of full-time teaching. I am not gonna teach full-time this fall. So I'm on that next chapter, as they say. So I did a little bit of journaling about that. And it's a good thing, right? When we finish one life chapter, we move on to the next, and I am joyfully feeling that. Loving this washi tape. I think it is my favorite right now. Yeah, so definitely very fun getting this little one started. And please let me know what you're enjoying in your junk journaling and art journaling. I'm looking forward to some more fun with little junk journals and finishing up some of my other projects as well. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel, and happy junk journaling to you.